The long shadow of metal. Why Megadeth still bleeds, and metal is still ounce. Wooster. There's a whole generation of us who grew up with Metallic and Megadeth, not just as music, but as identity. Before streaming, before lyric websites, before everything was instantly accessible, we sat cross-legged on the carpet with fold-out cassette liner insets, memorizing every line and riff like scripture. Metal wasn't something you listened to casually. You defended it. Sometimes, literally. Kids today don't always understand what it meant to be a metalhead in the 80s and early 90s. We weren't wearing Metallic shirts because they were trendy at Hot Topic. We were scaring parents, teachers, and jocks. And that defiance was part of who we were. The Black Album. The first cracks in the wall when Metallic released the Black Album in 1991. Fans didn't instantly scream betrayal. Sure, it was polished, radio ready, and Bob Rock's fingerprints were everywhere. But sad, but true. And Olie, Tantu Stew crushed. The album was a bridge between outsider metal culture and the mainstream, and it made Metallic impossible to ignore. And suddenly the mall was full of 13-year-olds wearing fresh Metallic shirts saying, "I love Metallic," while never having heard Fight Fire with Fire, never wearing out their tape, rewinding Fade to Black. But most of us weren't angry at the kids. In fact, it gave us a chance to say, "Oh, you like the Black Album? Here, check out Ride the Lightning." It was an initiation ritual. Load and reload. The real betrayal it was NT. The Black Album that broke loyalty. It was the load-reload era. Short hair, eyeliner, old truck, influence, fashion spreads. The look alone felt like Metallic was abandoning the tribe that built them. The sound reinforced it. Blues Y, mid-tempo. Radio-friendly. Songs that felt worlds away from the whiplash brutality of Master of Puppets or the precision violence of And Justice for All. For die-hard fans, it wasn't about Chandanzibo. It was about identity. Metallic seemed to be declaring, "We're not that band anymore." And that cut deeper than any riff. Meanwhile, Mustaine and the Megadeth legacy, while Metallic ascended into stadium stratospheres. Dave Mustaine carried a different burden. Kicked out of Metallic before the first album, he channeled rage into Megadeth. And what followed was not a cheap imitation. It was a masterclass in precision thrash and venomous musicianship. His discography from the 80s and early 90s is untouchable. Killing is my business. Peace sells so far. So good. So what? Rust and Peace gone down. To Extinction, these weren't just records. They were defiant statements. Mustaine weaponized pain into riffs. Megadeth became the thinking person's metal. Technical, fast, paranoid, political, and mere, held up to a collapsing world. Countdown to Extinction hitting number 2 on Billboard in 1992 was proof. Megadeth T. Just a revenge project. It was a serious force, but still, there was always a shadow overhead. The ultimate slap in the face when Metallic entered the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2009. Fans held their breath, waiting for a reconciliation moment, a gesture acknowledging Mustaine's role in the band. Instead, David Ellefson and Jason Newsted were honored, along with Robert Trujillo, who'd only recently joined. But Mustaine, whose riffs powered the earliest Metallic mythology, was excluded. For many, that was a rewriting of history. It reinforced the cruel narrative Dave Mustaine, the guy who got kicked out of Metallic, instead of Dave Mustaine, the architect of two pillars of thrash metal, the royalties stingy Imagine Mustaine, decades later, opening a royalty check for early metallic material, money earned from songs written with the bands that left him behind, a reminder that his greatest wound also became his lifelong ghost. That's Shakespearean tragedy, not gossip. Legacy cuts both ways metallic. Global brand stadium tours massive, mainstream footprint limited. Musician, yes. Band technical, integrity, fiercely. Loyal fan base, must have, even now. Voice weathered, lineup rotated, age visible. Still shreds guitar, like a man proving something, because maybe he still is. Full circle funny thing. The jocks who mocked metal in the 80s now throw horns in the crowd at reunion tours. The mall kids grew up and bought VIP packages. Metallic became a corporation. Megadeth became a creed. The tribalism faded. The riffs remained. The real truth buried beneath all the drama is this. Every Metallic fan owes Megadeth a debt every Megadeth fan is forever tied to. Metallicant. The entire genre was shaped by two angry kids in California.